In this video we're going to take a look at how to multiply two-digit numbers by a one-digit number, and in this particular video we're going to use the lattice method of multiplication. So by now everyone should be pretty familiar with recalling multiplication facts of the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5 and 10 as well. We're going to use a selection of these four numbers in this example, and possibly the number 1 as well. So let's get straight on with an example then. Let's go for 23 times 2. So we want two lots of 23. So because we're actually going to do some multiplication, relying on recollection of multiplication facts, single digit ones, I'm going to show you a method on how to write this out. So we're going to use this lattice method. So that means we're going to draw out a little grid or a lattice that is 2 boxes long by 1 box down, and that's so we can write 23 times 2 around the edge like that, and you can see there's a number in line with each row and each column. Now before we move on, there's one more thing we need to do before we start multiplying in this lattice, and that's to draw a diagonal line in each one of these boxes like so. Now we can start multiplying. In this box just here, that's split up into two sections, we're going to do the number that's above it multiplied by the number that's at the side of it. So 3 times 2, 3 lots of 2, which we know is 6. We're going to write this in here, 0, 6. And that's what these diagonal lines do at this stage. They split up the tens and the units in our answer. In this box, we're going to do the number that's above multiplied by the number that's at the side. So that's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. And that's going to be written in there, 0, 4, like that. So last step then, these diagonal lines, the red lines, have been put in there to split up the units, which is this column just here, the tens in our answer, which is down this column here between these two red lines, and the hundreds in our answer as well, which is just this top section above this red line just here. So what we're going to do with the units, the tens and the hundreds in our answer, is we're going to add them together. So just like in a normal add, we'd start with the units side, and in this units column we only have the number 6. So I'm going to write the answer down the bottom like that. So that's 6. In this column, between these two red lines, these are the tens in our answer, and that's going to be 0, add 4, which is 4. And then the hundreds in our answer is just 0. So we've got no hundreds in our answer, so we can either write that in there or we can leave it blank. We don't need a number that side of the answer. And the answer to our multiplication is 46. Read just as it appears outside the box. So that's the lattice, and that's what we're going to use in this next example as well. So let's go straight on to another example. We have, let's try 54 times 5. So we've got 54 lots of 5. We're going to draw out another lattice. So it's going to be 2 across by 1 box down, so we can write 54 times 5 around the edge like that. I'll do the diagonals in red just so that you can see them again. So we're going to do a diagonal line in each box, and then we can start multiplying. So our answers, first of all, this box is going to contain 4 times 5. 4 lots of 5 are 20. And 20 is written in there 2, 0, because that's what our diagonal's for. Splits up the tens on this side and the units this side. So in this box we're going to have 5 times 5, which is 25. So 25 is 2 tens and 5 units, and that's written in there like that. So last step is to add down the diagonal lines. So we're going to start with the units column. That's going to be 0. We need the unit there, the 0 there, because it's a placeholder, because that's got place value in this instance. So down this column we've got 2 add 5, which is 7, and this one we've just got 2. So we've got 2 hundreds, 7 tens and 1 0, so that's 270. And that's the answer to our multiplication. Just going to give you one more example of a 2-digit number times by a 1-digit number, just in case you're faced with this scenario. So if we have 34, alright, I'll use the blue pen, 34 times 3. 3 lots of 34. I'm going to do the lattice method again, so we're going to draw out a lattice, which is 2 across by 1 down. So we can write 34 times 3 around the side like that. Draw the diagonal lines on, again, I'll do them in red so we can see them. Then we're going to start multiplying, so again, exactly the same way. 4 lots of 3 is 12, so that's written in there like so. And this box is going to contain 3 times 3, which is 9, so that's going to be written in there, 0, 9. Now the reason I've shown you this example is because just as when we were adding numbers together, if we have too many in one column, we need to carry one over, we carry to the next column, and that's what happens in this example. So we're going to start by adding the units together again, which is 2 on its own, 2 units. So adding down this tens column now between the red lines, we've got 1 add 9, which is 10. So that's 0 would go in this column, but because we have one unit that needs to be carried to the next column, we're going to carry it into this column so that it can be added together with this. So instead of just being a 0 in this column, we now have 0 add 1, which is just 1. So that's how we carry over when we're adding together in the lattice method. It's exactly the same as in addition. We start with the units column, tens and hundreds, and if we need to carry over, we just carry it to the next column and add it into there. So our final answer in this example is 102. And that's using the lattice method to multiply 2-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers.